Are you ready for some football? And romance? Are you ready for some romance? Please hit the like button for the Dear Louise book series. I'm Christina, Kristina. I had this idea. We'll be doing Flashback Monday. Make sure you check that out. But since it's Super Bowl Sunday, I thought we'd go for some romance. And I found this in the closet. It's never been worn before. So what do you think? Are we ready for some football? I have no singing voice. I'm tone deaf. I was in chorus for 12 years. And I did Manilli Vanilli. If you know what Manilli Vanilli is, you'll know that I went, oh. See? Doesn't that work? Fake is good. When you're standing in a crowd of 50 girls, singing their brains out, lip syncing works. Because I was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I even had a solo one year. Oh, good grief, could you imagine? I sang really microscopically low. I didn't want to interfere with the other 5 girls. I didn't. Tone deaf. Totally tone deaf. Had to learn to play the thing on the piano, too. So anyways, we are doing a few footballs today. The yards between us. I saw this. Thought I'd mention it. The yards between us. R.K. Russell. In 2019, Russell, or Russ, as his friends and family call him, broke the mold when he came out as bisexual and claimed his life and his identity as an athlete in an essay and exclusive interview for ESPN. Now, in his powerful memoir, The Yards Between Us, he shares his full story and explores his love of football, his attraction to both men and women, the devastating challenge of keeping his sexuality secret, the tension between his private and public lives, and the importance of crashing through buffaloes. Russell dips back in time to Buffalo, New York, where the tragic loss of his stepfather, his early life, a shy kid struggling with the expectations on a black boy, his move to conservative Dallas, the pull between his quiet nature and his athletic ability, and an uncertain adolescence in which his love for game meant he had to hide things about himself, from being bullied to fighting back, his first kiss and middle school love, his first moment understanding his own physical talent, the moment he truly fell in love with football after his mom brought him to his first NFL game, college at Purdue. Come here. No, you're nudging me. Wow. I don't want to be on TV. Wow. You know my old saying, there's 2 breeds of cats. Yeah, I know there's millions, but there's 2 breeds. One that will let you hold them when they want, like her. And then there's the ones that will let you hold when you want. Those are the 2 different breeds. Excuse me, gotta blow my nose. And why he left New York, don't know, I'll have to read. But sounds good. Sounds good. Did you know when I was looking up all these romance novels for football, because I wanted to do football for Super Bowl Sunday, they're all M&M. Imagine my surprise. That's cool. Go for it. I wonder if there's L&L books. You think? Or F&F. I think they call it F&F. I don't know. Or MFM. Those are always good too. Have you seen Sam Helmer Eller's Cave lately? So you have to check it out. And you know what the problem with most of these, you know what the number one problem is? What I have all these books I'm going to recommend today? They're all ebooks. You try and get these physical books, so it's going to be a lot of this over here. And that's going to take a lot of time. I've looked them all up. I've read them. I've read them. They're all pretty good books. So let's get going. Oh, we have a couple of honorable mentions of physical books that I did find. FARRAH ROCHON, The Dating Playbook. When it comes to personal training, Taylor Powell kicks serious butt. But it seems no matter how much hustle she puts into her business, the bills keep piling up, and now the money situation is dire. She's going to need more help than her best friend Samia and London can give her. She needs an miracle. And Lamar Dixon might just do it. Oh, it's so fine. Former footballer wants back in the NFL and he's convinced Taylor can get him in shape for it. There's just one catch. No one can know she's training him. When they're spotted together by a journalist, Taylor blurts out the first thing that comes into her head, that she's Jamar's girlfriend. Ooh. Fake it till you bake it. Do you ever hear that expression? If you're having a really bad day at work, but you need stuff to get done and you're professional, it's fake it till you make it. Jada Townsend Matthews is the most reviled woman in America after turning down a marriage proposal on a reality dating show. When she comes home to kick her wounds, Jada finds herself working at San Diego's newest cupcake bakery, Sugar Blitz, alongside the uptight owner and professional football player Donovan Deli. When a reporter mistakenly believes Jake and Donovan are an item, they realize they can use the misunderstanding to their advantage to help the struggling bakery and rehabilitate Jade's image. Faking a relationship should be simple, but sometimes love is the most unexpected ingredient. And how many times do you get those in all the Regency books too? So, then we go to KANDI STEINER, Blindside. Clay Johnson has the abs of Adonis and the smirk of the devil himself. There's hardly a day he's not headline material during football season, and never a day he isn't bullseye target for every girl on campus. He used to be the easiest of all players for me to wrangle as public relations coordinator, but after a nasty breakup with his high school sweetheart, he's a mess. We met to discuss his behavior and review media relations standards, but when he witnesses how I fall to pieces in front of my guitar-toting crush, his wheels start turning and he cooks up this absurd plan. He helps me get noticed. I help him make his ex jealous by pretending to be in a relationship. What he doesn't realize is that this is a bookworm, is in a virgin, far from virgin, seducing a musician. So to sweeten the deal, I convinced him to help me not just get my question attention, but to knock his socks off when I have it. How many Regencies have you read this way? The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. Friend zone is not the end zone for Bree Camden, who is helplessly in love with her longtime best friend and extremely hot NFL legend Nathan Donaldson. The only problem is that she can't admit her true feelings because he clearly sees her as a best friend with no romantic potential, and the last thing Bree wants is to ruin their friendship. In any case, she has other things to worry about. A car accident ended her chance of becoming a professional ballerina. Bree changed his path and now owns her own dance studio with big dreams to expand it. But with the rent increase could mean the end of the studio entirely. Then as stubborn as Nathan comes to the rescue and buys the entire building. A stubborn Bree is not happy about it and decides to rebel with a couple of tequila shots. Then her plan backfires as she spills her deepest, darkest secret to a TMZ reporter. And you don't go telling TMZ anything. You just don't. You absolutely just don't. What? You run. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, Maria Zapata. Mrs. Mazurek knows she's got doing the right thing. She couldn't feel bad for quitting. Being an assistant housekeeper, fairy godmother to top defensive end in the National Football Organization was always supposed to be temporary. She has plans, and none of them include washing extra-large underwear longer than necessary. But when Aiden Graves shows up at her door wanting her to come back, she's beyond shocked. For 2 years, the man known as the Wall of Winnipeg couldn't find it to tell her good morning or congratulate her on her birthday. Now he's asking for the unthinkable. Playing hard to get. Knox McGuire, that's Monica McCarthy. Knox McGuire is the king of our college campus. Start offensive tight end on the football team. He's the complete opposite of me, and everywhere I'm quiet, he's loud, I'm shy. He's definitely not. Everyone loves him. No one knows me. Fresh out of a breakup, I really don't trust him. Why should I? Knox is the ultimate player when I become his English tutor. I tell myself we need to keep things between us strictly business. Watching my mother deal with my ex-athlete father long ago taught me to stay away from the type of man. Yet Knox is impossible to resist. Next thing I know, we're getting hot and heavy in the library. In the library? And that was never part of the plan. Well, duh. I didn't think doing it in the library was the plan. When Knox admits he can't stop thinking about me, I have a realization. I can't stop thinking about him either. Will it work? Striking result, Margaret Ahmad. When unlucky in love, Carrie's McTeague is offered the job of caring for an injured football player. She goes for it even though it's far removed from the world she's used to. Scottish football player Troy Copley is at the center of a media storm after a serious accident that left him with career-threatening injuries, and his fiancée dumped him for teammate. With a little persuasion from Carrie's, he flies to a remote island of Malta to escape from recuperate on and they get together. Lucy Snowblist. Mackenzie Mayfield, smart, interesting, and the hottest girl I've ever seen. She's also the daughter of my team's owner and a front office executive, and entirely off limits. For both reasons, trouble is she won't leave me alone, and I can't stay away from her either. Not after I saved her from something horrible. But how can we work together when we work together? So how can we work together when we work together? The rule says I'm not supposed to date anyone I work with. Mackenzie says Hudson Asher's been on my father's team for a decade. He's a hulking beast of a man who destroys his opponents on the field. All I can think of when I see him are the naughty things I want to do to him and him to me after the thing. Ooh. Dream Runner, Gail McFarland. I have this. Wait a second. Let's see. I want to see. Nope. I don't know why I put this here. It must have been a different one. Okay. It got 4.5 stars. The lyrical and challenging story isn't the typical boy meets girl tale. The author takes you into the heads of their characters so that we learn their thoughts as emotions change and grow. The newfound love is beautifully written, and the extended family provides humor and support for this couple. It's Dream Runner. Maria Kellogg is a world-class runner bound for the Olympics. Her dream collides with former NFL star A.J. Yarborough when they run into each other at the end of a qualifying race. On the way home, Molly is broadsided by a car that leaves the scene of the accident. Enter Parker Reynolds, a trauma surgeon who happens to be driving by and brings her in for surgery. AJ is also a certified physical therapist, and he's just the man to aid her in her recovery. Susan Mallory, The Sweet Spot. This is the second of 3 back-to-back releases that focus on Nicole Keys. Nothing about these sisters or the relationship is simple, and Mallory is top-notch form as she takes troubled and stubborn individuals, portrays their emotional growth, drama, and trauma abound in this winter. Is your marriage over and your baby sister pregnant, possibly with her estranged husband's child? Nicole Keys is not looking for any drama or responsibility, but she's so lonely. So when sexy NFL player turned high school coach Eric Hawkins crashes into her life, she's intrigued. On one Hawk star players is kicked out of his foster home, Nicole steps in to help. Although she claims to not want a serious relationship, the deeper Nicole gets with Hawk, the more her heart gets involved. Susan Elizabeth Phillips. We've known that name for a really long time. It had to be you. It had to be you. Don't you know this song? Yeah, I can't sing anyway. I know. The Windy City isn't quite ready for Phoebe Somerville, the outrageous, curvaceous New York knockout who has just inherited the Chicago Stars football team. And Phoebe is definitely not prepared with the Stars head coach Dan Sabo, a sexist drop-cast mascot with A1 track mind. Sabo is everything Phoebe abhors, and his new sexy boss everything despises. A meddling bimbo who doesn't know a pigskin from a pitcher's man. So why is he drawn to the shameless sex plot like Seeking Heat Missile? And why does the coach good all by charm leave Cosmopolitan, leaving everybody feeling awkward, tongue-tied, and ready to fight? So is this the yeah? They did an interview with Susan Elizabeth Phillip, and she said she didn't know anything about football. She wrote her football hero out of complete ignorance, she says, who theorizes that the rule may have come from publishers who worried that stories about American football players would have made foreign sales more difficult. But that's not true. Can you believe that? So let me see if it's in here. Oh. Touchdown. Conventional romance writing wisdom says don't write sports heroes because books with sports heroes who play ball won't sell. Luckily for readers, some authors never heard that bit of advice, or they've heard it and ignored it because they understand that larger-than-life ball-tossing people tackling NFL players make women swoon. Do you swoon? Just ask any teenage girl who's ever lusted after a high school's quarterback, which may explain why, according to some stats, as many as 40% of NFL fans are women. So as the pro football season gets underway, now is a good time to take a look at the increasing number of fictional NFL and NFL heroes finding their place in romance novels. That was the reason I did this whole podcast. They interview a bunch of people. Bella Andre hadn't planned to write about football heroes. She had pitched a series about baseball players to Pocket Books, but they said, let's do football players instead. Game of Seduction is, you have to check that out for her. Mary J. Forbes, who calls herself an armchair fan while her husband loves the sport, sees the men of NFL just a little differently. As a reader, I like the combination that an NFL player has of the alpha and beta hero. Yeah, I have to check it out. Beginner's Guide to Football. First down, this is the first series in a set of plays. The goal of the offense is to advance 10 yards, marching toward the end zone. For each 10 yards that the offensive gains, they were awarded 4 more downs. By Sharice Hodges. Touchdown. The offense has made it into the opposite team's end zone and scored 6 points. Wahoo! Pat, point after touchdown. The kicking team comes out on the field and attempts to kick the football through the goalpost. Go! 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 They make goals in hockey too, you know. Sack. This is when the quarterback gets smashed by defense before he can complete a pass. Why do they all have to end up in a pile? All right, listen. The guy's down, right? You're running after the guy. You're running after the guy. You're running after the guy. You get him down. The guy's down. The guy is down. You're on top of him. Why does everybody else have to jump on top too? Did you see those piles? Did you see those piles where everybody just jumps on top of the guy piled under 10 people? What the f is up with that? I'm just saying. Marie, line of scrimmage. Savannah finally has a peaceful, calm life and no surprises. Men's marriage to a football star, Ryan Sanderson, was a whirlwind of passion, energy, excitement, but Savannah's got sick of playing second fiddle to his team, watching women throw themselves at him and living in terror of the hard-hitting tech on the field. With their divorce just days from being final, she has already planned a wedding to her new fiancé. However, Ryan has finally figured out that he better get his act together and he's got only a couple days. NFL quarterback is looking for the Hail Mary of his life. Ryan Sanderson has 10 days to convince his wife, Susanna, to give him a second chance. Will she or won't she? Check it out. And a couple of little honorable mentions here. Megan Brandy, Fumbled Hearts. He's the persistent playboy who refuses to walk away. I'm the impassionate new girl with nothing to give, and things are about to get complicated. Tracy Somheim, Just for Kicks. It's supposed to be just for kicks. Andy Larson learned early on there can be no such thing as fairy godmothers. A child spent in foster care would do that to a girl. She's working her way through night school and is on the cusp of establishing her own business without help from anyone. Thank you very much. When her deadbeat ex steals her identity and puts her in debt, and she gets with a football star player to help her out. So please check it out. I don't know how many that was. I was trying to do 10. So what do you think? Are we in for some football? Please hit the like and subscribe and let me know I'm doing a good job. I'm trying the best I can. Let's have some romance during our Super Bowl. Get ready for commercials. And if you're still with me, and I hope you're still with me, because the analytics say you checked out 30 minutes ago, do your Google on YouTube. I would like to teach the world to sing Coca-Cola 1971 commercial and the Clydesdales 2001 9/11 commercial. Those are my two favorite. Of course, you're going to have your Doritos commercial, and there's a whole other bunch of cute ones out there, but let's get ready for some football. I'm going to get ready to watch the commercials. I don't even know who's playing. We'll have to check it out. It's not a New York team that I know of. But anyways, let's get going. Have a good one. Thank you.